Have you ever watched something unfold so perfectly that it felt like karma itself was taking charge in real time? So immediate, so precise that it almost seemed scripted? That's exactly what happened one ordinary afternoon outside a busy suburban strip mall, when one woman, later known only as Karen, decided that the rules of common decency didn't apply to her. It was one of those golden, sunny days where everything felt peaceful. Families were out running errands, kids darted in and out of the stores with ice cream in hand, and a few older folks slowly made their way from the pharmacy to their cars. Right in front of the main entrance sat a clearly marked handicap parking space, freshly painted blue lines, a bright white wheelchair icon, and a tall metal sign warning, "Handicap permit only. Violators will be towed immediately." For most people, that sign is enough to make them think twice. It's not just a rule, it's respect. But not for Karen. Her shiny, spotless SUV roared into the lot, the bass from her music shaking the mirrors. Without hesitation, she swung the wheel and slid directly into that handicap spot like it was made for her. No placard, no handicap tag, nothing. She killed the engine, flung open the door, and stepped out like she was stepping onto a red carpet. Sunglasses on, chin high, not a care in the world. She slammed the door shut and strutted toward the store without glancing back. People noticed immediately. Heads turned. A couple of shoppers exchanged annoyed looks. A mother loading her groceries sighed, shaking her head as she buckled her child into the back seat. But Karen didn't see or care. Her heels clacked confidently across the asphalt as she vanished inside the store. And that's when fate, or maybe karma, decided to make an entrance. Barely 2 minutes later, a tow truck rumbled into the parking lot. The driver slowed as he scanned the rows of cars, and the moment he spotted that SUV sitting boldly and unpermitted in the handicap space, his eyes narrowed. He checked once, then again. No permit. Without a moment's hesitation, he parked right in front, lowered his rig, and got to work. The sound of clanking metal and rattling chains filled the air, drawing attention like a magnet. One by one, shoppers stopped mid-stride, whispering, pointing. Phones came out, because everyone knew they were about to witness something special. By the time Karen returned with a shopping bag swinging from her wrist, her SUV was already half lifted off the ground, angled awkwardly with its rear tires dangling. Her confident smirk evaporated. Her jaw dropped. Her sunglasses slid down her nose, and then, boom! The shouting began. She froze for a second, then dropped her shopping bags right there. A pack of cookies hit the pavement and rolled under a car, but she didn't notice. Her voice erupted across the parking lot like a siren. "Hey! What do you think you're doing? That's my car! Put it down right now!" The tow truck driver didn't flinch. Calm, steady, professional, like a man who's heard this all 100 times before. He kept tightening the chains, checked his hooks, and replied evenly, "Ma'am, this is a handicap space. No permit, no parking, 2 orders are automatic." "Automatic?" she screeched. "Do you even know who I am? I was gone for 5 minutes. You can't tow my car for something this small." The crowd chuckled. One man, leaning on his pickup, muttered just loud enough for others to hear. 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Still not your spot." "Lady," that got a few laughs, and the sound only made Karen angrier. She spun around, glaring at the onlookers. "Are you all seriously laughing? This is harassment! You should be ashamed of yourselves." But then a woman with a cane stepped forward. Her tone was calm but firm. "My husband's in a wheelchair," she said. "We need that space. People like you make it harder for us every single day. You should be ashamed." The crowd fell silent for a beat. The words hit harder than anything else could have. Even the tow truck driver paused for a moment, nodding slightly in agreement. But Karen, true to form, refused to back down. "This is ridiculous!" she shrieked, stomping her heels against the asphalt. "You have no right to take my car. I'm calling the police right now!" She jabbed furiously at her phone screen, muttering under her breath as she dialed. The tow truck driver simply shrugged. "Go ahead, ma'am. They'll just confirm what I said. You're in violation." And with that, he flipped another lever. The SUV lifted higher, its back wheels swinging freely in the air. The crowd gasped. Dozens of phones zoomed in, recording every second. Instant karma had never looked so perfect. The drama had officially reached a boiling point, and the real chaos was only beginning. By the time Karen finished her frantic call, shouting so loudly it could probably be heard across the entire lot, flashing blue lights rolled in. A police cruiser glided between the rows of parked cars, sirens off but lights spinning in the afternoon sun. The crowd parted instinctively, phones raised, ready to capture whatever came next. Karen, red-faced and trembling with fury, rushed toward the officer like a desperate movie heroine. "Officer! Thank goodness you're here!" she cried, pointing wildly at the tow truck driver. "That man is stealing my car. You need to arrest him immediately." Her hands shook with anger, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. The officer, a calm, middle-aged man with years of experience written across his face, didn't move right away. He gave the scene one slow, deliberate glance. The tow truck, the SUV lifted off the ground, and finally the giant blue handicap sign standing tall above it all. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "is this your vehicle?" "Yes, it is," Karen snapped, crossing her arms. "And he's illegally towing it. I was gone for 5 minutes." The officer tilted his head slightly, unfazed. "Do you have a handicap permit?" That one question hit her like a brick. Karen froze. The bravado cracked. "Well, no," she stammered. "But I told you I was only—" "That doesn't matter," the officer interrupted, his tone firm but calm. "This space is for people with disabilities only. The sign clearly says violators will be towed immediately. He's just doing his job." The crowd erupted into murmurs of approval. Someone clapped. A few others followed. The woman with the cane stood tall, her expression proud and steady. Karen's cheeks flushed a deeper red. "Are you kidding me?" "I pay taxes. I have rights." "And you're siding with him?" "Ma'am," the officer said, his patience clearly thinning, "your car is being towed because you broke the law. If you keep interfering, you'll make this situation worse for yourself." The crowd gasped, phones raised even higher. Karen's eyes darted from face to face, searching for even one sympathetic look, but all she saw were people recording her meltdown from every angle. She didn't realize it yet, but her outburst was about to become internet history. Finally, she screamed, "This is harassment! You're all against me!" She stomped her foot again like a child, but the officer didn't react. He simply nodded to the tow driver. "Go ahead," he said flatly, "tow it. She can pick it up from impound." Laughter rippled through the crowd as the SUV was hoisted higher. Karen stood frozen in disbelief as her car, her prized SUV, was slowly pulled away, rocking slightly behind the tow truck like a defeated ship disappearing into the distance. But the show wasn't over. Not yet. The moment the truck disappeared, Karen stormed after the officer, clutching her phone like a weapon. "You can't just let him take my car. I need it right now." "You don't understand. I have important things to do today." The officer stayed calm, his voice steady. "Ma'am, your vehicle's already on its way to the impound lot. You'll need to pay the fine and show proof of insurance and registration to get it back. That's the law." Karen blinked, stunned. "A fine? You're telling me I have to pay money for this nonsense?" "That's correct," he replied coolly. "Parking in a handicap space without a permit carries a hefty penalty. It's meant to discourage people from doing exactly what you just did." Her voice cracked as she shouted, "This is outrageous! I'll sue the city! I'll have your badge for this." She jabbed her finger at his chest, but the officer didn't flinch. He simply raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am," he said, his tone firm and final, "calm yourself. You've already broken the law. Don't make it worse." The smaller crowd that remained kept their cameras rolling. Every stomp, every shout, every insult. It was all being captured from multiple angles. And though Karen didn't know it yet, within hours, she'd be viral. Then, the woman with the cane stepped forward again, her voice steady and clear. "You keep acting like you're the victim," she said. "But the real victims are people who need that spot, people who can't walk from the back of the lot. You took that from them today." For just a moment, Karen's face softened. Her shoulders dropped, her glare faltered. But pride, as always, took over. She spun on her heel and shouted, "This is ridiculous! None of you understands." She gathered her scattered shopping bags, muttering angrily under her breath, and stomped toward the street. No car, no audience, no sympathy. Just the long, humiliating walk past the same strangers who had watched her downfall unfold in real time. The officer exhaled slowly, shaking his head before returning to his cruiser. The woman with the cane leaned against her husband's arm and whispered, "Justice served." And just like that, the parking lot returned to its usual rhythm. Cars pulling in, people shopping, life moving on. But online? Oh, it was just getting started. Within hours, the videos spread like wildfire. Captions reading, "Instant karma, tow truck justice." Comments poured in from around the world. Karen eventually retrieved her SUV from impound, paying a steep fine. But her reputation? That job was permanent. If you enjoyed watching karma unfold in real time, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And make sure to subscribe for more unbelievable stories just like this one. Tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you witnessed this happen in person? I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can.